You may have seen how roller coasters are built, but have you ever wondered how the world's biggest thrill machines were designed? Over the next 10 minutes, I'll show you how roller coasters are designed to thrill. What is a roller coaster? A roller coaster is track that a train rolls down, often consisting of twists, turns and drops. Types of roller coasters. There are two main types of roller coasters. First came wood, which has a support structure made from wood, and the track is also made from wood. The track is made from 8 layers of wood, topped by a layer of steel that the train's wheels run on. Only about 5% of the current operating roller coasters are made from wood, due to their high operating costs. In 1959 came the first steel roller coaster. A steel roller coaster typically consists of steel tubes that are bent into shape and welded together to make the track. The supports are also made from steel tubes. All the track is made off-site before being lifted into place like a giant jigsaw. An exception to this is the Steel Raptor and T-Rex single-rail track made by Rocky Mountain Construction, abbreviated to RMC. This track is made from a single rail that looks like an I-beam that the roller coaster train grips onto. There is a third classification, which is hybrid. Although they have been around since 1927, they only recently came to popularity when RMC came to the market with the I-box track. This track replaces the 8 wood stack on wooden roller coasters with 2 I-beam rails and can be used to upgrade existing wooden coasters to create new experiences, or to create completely new roller coasters. There is also various ways to be seated on a roller coaster, from flying where riders are rotated 90 degrees underneath the track, to suspended where riders are seated underneath the track, and winged where riders are sat either side of the track. Selecting a location. When designing a roller coaster, it is important to ensure that a suitable location is chosen. Many factors go into choosing a suitable location, such as, is the ground hard enough for foundations? Is there a height limit? Or will it be too close to the park's neighbours? All of these are important for deciding the location of a roller coaster. For example, at Alton Towers they aren't allowed to build above the trees, so to bypass this they have to build down. They also send up balloons attached to strings to the height of the roller coaster design to see if it can be seen from outside the park before building it. Market research. A park will conduct market research before starting the design of a ride. They will gather information in a number of ways, such as through park surveys to see what current visitors may want, looking at other parks to see what is going down well with the public, and looking at guest numbers to see if it is time to install a new attraction. I interviewed theme park enthusiast Lucas to see what he likes in roller coaster design. So, can you tell me a bit about yourself?
So, my name's Lucas, and I have various different hobbies, including football, and I love visiting theme parks, doing stuff that keeps me entertained, and doing stuff like that. You know, I'm also looking to do engineering at a degree level because roller coasters, designs, how things work, that's always interested me, and I want to take my love, my enjoyment for things like that and give back to other people in that way.
What is it you enjoy about roller coasters?
I think for me, they're so vastly different to anything else. You get a sense of adrenaline, a sense of thrill that you can't really get from doing anything else, and it sort of sends you into a different world almost because it's so vastly different, and you get a little bit of a kick from it and you want to go back, you want to do them again. For me, the way I respond to them makes me happy, and I think obviously everyone has a different opinion on them, but for me, the enjoyment I get from it makes me want to ride them and makes me want to see what different things can be done with them.
So what is it you look for in the design of a roller coaster?
I think for me the most important thing is something that's unique, something that's going to be enjoyable for me, for other people. I don't want to go on something that I'd view as tame, boring, something that's going to hurt me or give a bad memory of that experience. I want something that, yes, it's going to be thrilling. Yes, it's going to be, quite intimidating at times, but for me, the sensation I get from doing something that's bigger, better, faster is great, and I want to see more of something that goes faster, something that is bigger, and just all the different things like that is what makes me want to ride rides and see what else can be done with them.
So is there anything in particular that you don't like about roller coasters, or any sort of elements of roller coasters that you don't like?
I think I touched on it briefly before, but I want to go on a ride and it be memorable to me. And I want to be able to come off, enjoy it, say, yeah, that was amazing. I'd love to do that again. I don't want to go on a ride and come off thinking, why have I wasted all that time to do that? It wasn't fun. It wasn't exciting. If I'm going on something with something new, like a new element, something faster, that's what makes it good. But if it's dull, boring, I don't see why I want to go and do that when I can do other things that will give me a thrill.
So what roller coaster do you think has the best layout?
I think there are a lot of different rides that have fantastic layouts. When I look at them, it's obviously completely objective. It depends what you as an individual like. Something like the Smiler at Alton Towers, it's an incredible feat from a design perspective. Managed to put 14 inversions into such a small space, and they really had to get creative to do that. Other rides like Voden Timber Coaster at Europa Park, it's fantastic because the scale of it, something completely different to something that I'd experienced. I also look at Taron at Phantasialand. From a design perspective, it crosses over itself multiple times. It builds on the successes of previous rides, goes faster, it's longer, and all these little things from a design perspective make certain rides fantastic when compared to others which have very basic designs, but they're still good. But something like Reach at Alton Towers doesn't do anything that you can't get on something else. Other rides incorporate the good elements of one and then build on it in another.
What is your favourite roller coaster that's out there at the minute?
My favourite roller coaster is Taron at Phantasialand. When I first rode it, I came off blown away, purely because it offered me exactly what I wanted in a ride. I love something that's fast, I love something that's intense, and something that'll push the forces of the real world to the maximum. And that's exactly what I got. But it wasn't also that. The fact I was crossing over the track, going through different tunnels, all these features, it was an amazing experience. And if I could, I'd love to experience it again. And I think when I look at other rides, I look at them and I think that would be amazing. But that's the one that stands out to me because it offered me something that I enjoyed.
What ride has the most interesting or unique layout?
I think that's, again, it's a hard one because it's all objective. But I think, again, possibly something like the Smiler at Alton Towers. What they've done is they've put so many features into such a small area, and for me, that's seriously impressive because the design process that they would have had to go through, all the small details like is there enough room to put this here and that there, it's seriously impressive, and the amount of time that they'll spend on doing something like that is incredible. But I also think that there are several other rides like Formula Rossa in Dubai, the world's fastest roller coaster. It's seriously impressive because they've managed to get you to such high speeds in such a place. It's so hot there, the way they've actually managed to build a ride to operate in the conditions that it does. And there's so many different rides across the world, and that's the beauty of it, really. There's so many different rides, in so many different places. The adaptability and the design of them is incredible when you look at it on the scope that the world of roller coasters is on.
If you could design your own roller coaster, could you talk me through what it would be like?
I think for me, I want something that is fast, something that's intense. So I'd certainly have a launch section in it. I think the sensation of the tight bank turns I'd love to see, because they're where you're really going to get your intense G-forces. And that's something I absolutely love on the rides. I also thoroughly enjoy different elements like air time, hang time. So I'd want to incorporate little bits of those, little things that potentially that cover to a wide range of people, because I know that my tastes are different to other people's tastes. But I'd want to make sure that if I designed a ride, it had bits that everyone would enjoy. I wouldn't want it to be bland, but I wouldn't want it to go too far the other way. So I'd want to make sure that I could incorporate elements like airtime, hang time, a launch into one ride to satisfy the needs and the desires of so many people who enjoy roller coasters.
So thanks for talking to me today.
No problem, thank you for having me.
Roller coaster manufacturers. Once you have chosen your location, conducted market research and chosen a type of ride, it's time to choose your manufacturer. There are many manufacturers, each with their own unique appearance and feel. A park will send a team of people across the world to try out different rides from different manufacturers before making a decision on which to go with. Although it may be tempting just to go for the manufacturer with the best appearance and feel, there are many other constraints to consider. These range from cost, as a ride that costs £25 million from one manufacturer may only cost £18 million from another, to customer service and part availability to make sure the ride can be fixed if it breaks down, and safety reputation to ensure guests are safe when riding the attraction. All of these weigh in on the final decision of manufacturer. Layout design. Now on to the fun part, where the ride is created in a virtual environment. For ride concepts, software called No Limits 2 Roller Coaster Simulation is used. This allows some millimeter precise editing of track, more than any Roller Coaster Tycoon game would allow. When designing the layout, it is important to consider the target market, as a 4-year-old would be unlikely to go on the Smiler, and an 18-year-old is unlikely to go on a mine train. A roller coaster designer will always be in contact with the client, ensuring that they are happy with the current design. When design is complete, the ride is then put into various different softwares to test stresses, get technical sheets, apply for planning permission, and send to the chosen manufacturer. Theming. The final step of design is theming. Some parks may choose only to have an entrance sign, while others may spend many years just on theming an attraction. When a ride is themed, it adds an additional layer to the experience. The guests can become transported to other worlds and be immersed by the experience. Theming will try to invoke emotion in the guests, whether it be fear, happiness, confusion, or suspense. To theme a ride, designers will build whole villages inside theme parks, and even design custom ride vehicles to match the theme of the ride. Now you should know the basics in roller coaster design. Why not give it a go yourself in games like Planet Coaster or Roller Coaster Tycoon, or if you feel up to an extra challenge, have a go in No Limits 2.